we feeling? Good? Feeling all right? So when I'm not doing this, I am actually a high school teacher during the day. I teach 10th grade. Thank you. I do get paid in claps and woos, so thank you so much for the bus fare. And I've been teaching for 10 years, and I'll never forget my first month of teaching, I got into this argument with this kid. He looked me dead in my face, and he was like, "Yeah, Miss Telesford? Well, that's why your man left you." And he walked off. Yeah, and I was so young, I was like, "Tell your dad to call me back." I mean, seriously. And then I failed him, right? And I had to... That was the only way I was gonna see his dad. I mean, you gotta, you know? It was a parent-teacher conference, but also our first date, so there's that. But I will say this, though, teaching is a very hard job. One of the hardest things about it is that we have to pay for our own school supplies. Did you know this? Yeah, like the school won't even buy me an eighth, you know? Like, I'm just here bumming off the kids, like... Deshaun, is this indica, or what is it? What's in that lunchbox, Deshaun? Show me. It was Reggie, he had trash weed. It was terrible. But you know, I teach high school, so I break up a lot of fights in my school, and there's this misconception that when it comes to high school fights, that boys fight worse than girls. It's the opposite. Girls fight way worse than boys. Because when it comes to high school fights and high school girls, the fight is never over. Like, they just keep going and going. Which is why I would never send a high school girl to war. Hear me out. So take World War I, for example. All quiet on the Western Front, let's pack it up, let's go home. American high school girl. That's what I thought, bitch. I thought, yeah, USA. And then Germany's just like, 9. If you don't like that, you fail history. But if we did send high school girls to war, the content would be crazy in the trenches. It would be the TikToks. Can you imagine the TikToks? Just get ready with me as I style this gas mask. It'd be crazy. In personal news, I had a birthday. I turned 33 years old. Very excited about that. Thank you. One of my friends said it's my Jesus year, so I'm hoping it turns out better for me. Just gonna avoid dinner parties all 365. You feel me? To be safe. But what I'm finding thus far is people tell me I look good for my age, which is crazy because 33. Not old enough for that statement, please. Don't say that. And they'll always use this phrase, they'll be like, "Electra, you look good for your age, but that's because black don't crack." Right? Yeah. But I feel like we all know that, right? That black don't crack. What people don't know is that it will also split up the royal family. All right, I sense some royalists in the audience. I do, I sense. Okay, this is USA, guys. No, but I do feel bad for the queen, I do. Because I know it had to be hard for her when her grandson came up to her and said, "Hey, I'm marrying a woman, but she's not a cousin." Terrible. But no, in turning 33, I've decided to take better care of my health, so I recently quit vaping. Very excited about that, thank you so much. About 5 minutes ago, but every minute counts. No, my boyfriend, he really wants me to quit vaping. He sat me down, he was like, "Electra, we don't know what's gonna happen to people who vape, right?" And I said, we've got 2 choices. One, we could quit vaping and have perfectly healthy lungs. Boring. Or 2, we could continue vaping and be a part of the largest class action suit ever happened. I want my $1.22 is what I'm saying. And I'm trying to do things differently though. Started going to the doctor, went to the OBGYN recently, and I never used to like to go, and I thought it was because it's a really invasive experience. But then I also realized I don't like being fingered by someone with a degree. It feels different. It feels different. It doesn't. My boyfriend hates that joke. He's like, Electra, stop telling people that, please. And I'm like, no, because DeVry is not accredited. We talked about this so many times. You could have gone to ITT Tech, babes, but you didn't. But when you go, they give you a breast exam, right? So for those of you who've never been, they make you put your hands up and they feel around, right? She did that, hands up, felt around. And I thought to myself, that was a little too fast, right? But there was no appropriate way to be like, hey, could you do that again? Like a little slower. It was like light some candles, play some Luther. I mean, really work for this copay is what I'm saying. I know. Being in your 30s, people keep asking me when I'm gonna have kids, and I do know that I want kids, but I also know that I want a nanny. It's very important for me. Not for the reasons people usually have, like they're busy or whatever. I just need a buffer between me and my child's resentment. Right. So let me explain. So when they're 16 and they go through that I hate you phase, I could be like, you don't even know me. Like, you don't know each other at all. And sometimes I tell that joke in the Upper West Side, and they don't like that shit at all. At all. Take that very personally. When he comes back from boarding school, he's gonna hear about this.